Thank you so much for joining me again. This time we're going to take a look at another population, specifically ex-offenders. In 2016, there were 2.2 million people in prison, and actually this accounts for the highest percentage of people across the world who are in prison. The United States holds that honor of having that high number. 90% of the adults sentenced to prison will eventually return to the community. And in fact, up to 650,000 each year are released and come back into general society. 70 million people overall have a criminal record, and this is approximately 1 in 3 adults of working age in the U.S., which often leads to high levels of unemployment or underemployment. Men with criminal records account for 34% of all non-working men between the ages of 25 and 54.4. Nationally, there is a total estimated job loss to the economy of $78 to $87 billion. And about 60 to 75% of former inmates cannot find work within their first year out of jail, and this often leads to high rates of recidivism. There are some resources available, and particularly some legislation that looks to address this issue. One is Public Law 110-199, which is called the Second Chance Act. And part of this act has established the National Reentry Resource Center. And this particular center looks at providing education and training and technical assistance to state and local governments and nonprofit organizations and correctional institutions to really look at improving reentry. Now, reentry is pretty broad. It looks at housing, it looks at employment, it looks at drug and alcohol prevention, those kind of things. But particularly, we want to look at, obviously, the employment aspect of it. And actually, then our friend, the Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act of 2014, in particular Section 169, has opportunities for grantees to apply for funding to address these issues with an ex-offender population. In fact, the Justice Center puts together what corrections and reentry agencies need to know about the Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act and ways that the different titles in there can be applied, especially looking at literacy as one facet of that. Here's a variety of articles that I encourage you to take a look at. Part of it ranges from what programs have been successful in helping folks re-enter society and lower level and have lower level recidivism. One in particular is also looking at The Scarlet Letter, which is a book review, and it's looking at a book that talks about negotiating the U.S. labor market with a criminal record. There's also articles in here about companies that are recognizing the potential of having ex-convicts coming back into the workforce because of different variety of skills and resources they have. So I encourage you to check those out. One movement that's going on right now is called Ban the Box. And this is, as you recall, if you applied for a job, there's often a question about, have you had any criminal record. You need to check this box. And so there's a movement right now to remove that box or ban that box because it leads to bias against ex-convicts. So I encourage you to check out this video. Actually, President Obama had announced his plan for federal employees to ban that box to help eliminate bias.
On many job applications, there's a box that asks if you have a criminal record. If you answer yes, then a lot of times you're not getting a call back. And we're going to do our part in changing this. Good for everybody. It means less crime, it means less recidivism, it means less money spent on incarceration. That in turn creates economies in those communities that are legal and not just illegal, and you get a virtuous cycle.
Here are some variety of resources and programs that are aimed at helping with reentry and employment opportunities. One is the Reentry and Employment Opportunity Adult Program. One comes out of the Department of Labor. There's also what I talked about, the Natural Reentry Resource Center that is coming out of the Bureau of Justice Assistance. The Justice Center is also one that it actually comes from the Council of State Governors, and they have a reentry and employment project. There's also a variety of nonprofits and local government that offer some resources to ex-offenders. So I encourage you to take some time and check these out. Thank you so much.